AP World History Topic 8.4 Spread of Communism after 1900. Essential question: how did communism and land reform affect China and other countries? The Cold War era was marked by ideological battles between the United States and the Soviet Union, which often played out in the form of struggles for control and influence in various countries. One significant aspect of this struggle was the implementation of communism and land reform, particularly in countries like China, Iran, Vietnam, Ethiopia, India, and several Latin American nations. These policies aimed to address deeply entrenched inequalities in land ownership and socio-economic structures inherited from feudalism, capitalism, and colonialism. However, their outcomes varied significantly, shaping the trajectories of these nations in diverse ways. Communism in China, spearheaded by Mao Zedong and the Communist Party, brought about radical transformations in the mid-20th century. The victory of the Communists over the Nationalists in 1949 led to the establishment of the People's Republic of China. Mao's regime swiftly initiated land reforms, redistributing land to peasants and implementing collectivization through communes, mirroring Soviet-style economic planning. However, Mao's ambitious policies, such as the Great Leap Forward and the Cultural Revolution, resulted in catastrophic consequences. The Great Leap Forward, intended to rapidly industrialize China's economy, led to widespread famine and the deaths of millions due to failed agricultural policies. Similarly, the Cultural Revolution, ostensibly aimed at revitalizing communist ideals, instead unleashed chaos and persecution, akin to Stalin's purges in the Soviet Union. In contrast, Iran's experience with land reform unfolded amidst geopolitical tensions and domestic struggles for autonomy. Under the authoritarian rule of Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, the White Revolution introduced progressive reforms, including land redistribution, to weaken traditional landowning elites and garner support from rural peasants. However, the reforms faced opposition from various quarters, including religious conservatives and disaffected landowners, highlighting the complexities of socio-political change. Ultimately, the failure to fully address underlying grievances contributed to the 1979 Iranian Revolution, which ushered in an Islamic theocracy vehemently opposed to Western influence and policies. Across Latin America, land reform efforts aimed to dismantle entrenched systems of land concentration and feudalism, promoting greater equity and development. Countries like Venezuela witnessed significant redistributive measures, albeit amid controversies and political polarization. Land reform initiatives often intersected with broader struggles for democratization and social justice, as seen in Guatemala's tumultuous history, where democratic reforms clashed with corporate interests, leading to foreign-backed interventions and social upheaval. Moreover, in Vietnam, Ethiopia, and India, land reform played crucial roles in post-colonial nation-building and economic development. Communist regimes in Vietnam sought to empower peasants by redistributing land, albeit through coercive means at times. In Ethiopia, attempts at modernization and land reform under Haile Selassie ultimately faltered, paving the way for socialist experiments and subsequent upheavals. Meanwhile, India's land reform efforts aimed to address rural poverty and inequality, albeit facing challenges in implementation and resistance from entrenched interests. The legacies of communism and land reform have left indelible imprints on the socio-economic and political landscapes of China, Iran, and numerous other countries. While these policies aim to redress historical injustices and foster socio-economic progress, their outcomes were often marred by unintended consequences, internal strife, and external interventions. Nonetheless, the struggles for land reform reflect broader quests for social justice, equity, and self-determination amidst the tumult of the Cold War era and beyond.